is In the Shadows Podcast. Lots of cigar talk, but if it's going on in the world, we'll be talking about that too. And by the way, the fellows don't shy away from controversial topics. Trust me. So grab that stick, kick back with your favorite drink, and let's do the thing. This is the In the Shadows Podcast. Now your hosts, Tony the Soy Sauce Assassin.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of In the Shadow Podcast from Shadows Works Legion. And today we have Matt Hashimoto with us again today. And he's got to kind of be here and answer some questions because obviously he wasn't happy with us throwing some information that he felt was less than perfect. So he's going to be in today with a special interview of answering some, misconception, have a conversation. And also we have Eric here because me talking with him by myself is boring. So let's throw a guy that is not that boring.
Oh, I'm pretty boring. Right? Yeah.
Yes. There you go. So today we're talking about cars. All right. What guy doesn't like cars, right? Which person doesn't like cars? We got to talk about cars. And this is what we talked about before. We got to talk about this topic. So starting with the misconception is, let's start with the topic: electric cars versus gasoline cars, or alternative energy versus gasoline energy.
That's not misconception. What's that? How's that say that word?
Misconceptions.
Yeah.
Because people think that electric car is the future. Electric car is the only way to save energy, save the earth, save fossil fuel, save everything. And the only way to get those people in Paris to stop gluing themselves onto the road is to drive electric cars.
Oh no, you're gonna start a war with this one, not misconception.
All right. So we gotta start with that topic, right? So I remember having a conversation with Eric. I was telling him that there is no way America or any part of the world can sustain the power consumption if everyone was to change, like every car in the world was to change to electric cars. Okay, so I want to put it out there and say, hey, Hashimoto, what do you think? In your opinion, can electric car take over any gasoline cars in the future? That is it even feasible for any car to be out there and that's all electric in the future? Get rid of gasoline cars, period.
Absolutely not. It is such a misconception and a false belief that these electric cars are going to take over the world, which it can't. We don't have the infrastructures. Never will. You need the fossil fuels to power the batteries, and then batteries themselves are such a toxic chemical. They're worse off than the fossil fuels that we're using currently. So they can't dispose of them properly. They can't dispose. I mean, they're just so bad for our Earth. It's worse for our Earth than the actual fossil fuels. But they have convinced a lot of the public that this is the wave of the future and this is what we need to be going to. And I totally disagree. A lot of the manufacturers are being forced into doing this with certain states, California, Washington, Oregon, all those, and New York, those types of states. They're forcing everybody to go to that battery electric car, electric diesels. It's just not sustainable.
Okay, so we have that part of the argument, but we also have Eric who believe Tesla is the way to go. You must have electric car for the future. So Eric, what do you think?
Well, I think it's going to be possible because I believe the U.S. is starting to be energy dependent as well, right? I don't know if it's true, but I read, what I heard, yes, we are getting to a point that's energy dependent, and we're going to start building more grids, right? We just need to take a whole state like Utah that nobody care about and put grids there.
But if we have a grid in Utah, that's not going to take care of you in Texas. Texas is an independent grid.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to, make a whole state full of grids, and we should be fine.
How?
Just transfer, wiring, all of that, right?
Do you know how long and how much energy and money it takes to build an infrastructure like that? Just Utah, just say Utah because it's a smaller state than Texas. Millions of dollars. We just don't have. Go ahead.
Well, because we already spent $1 million supporting a war that we're not fucking getting anything out of, right?
That's just a whole different subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beside the story, right? If you think about this, right? If it takes millions of dollars just to power what's nearby, how much money do you need to power further away from you?
Well, they are forcing on us, so.
No, eventually it will be, right? Because they always set the goal, like, 2040, had to be a certain amount of emission, 2050, 2060. It's got to go there somewhere, right? Because that's what they're pushing.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is we don't have the infrastructure to support it, right? We have, one gas station per X amount of cars, and you will need that one charging station for X amount of cars. And that charging station has to be everywhere. And keep in mind, it's not like gasoline car. You go there, you pump your gas and go. You go there, you park your car there for 3 hours before you go somewhere.
They're gonna make something. I believe they're gonna make something that would charge your car like a phone would, right? Just fucking supercharge the crap out of it.
They already have that. They have two different chargers that are available right now. Supercharger, and then you have the regular charger.
Yeah, but the supercharger is not fast enough. It's not fast enough. 45 minutes, not fast enough.
All right, Eric. So there's something in physics called resistance. Every item in this world has a resistance. So for a power to charge, it takes time. There's no way that it can be instant, because for something to host, for example, if I'm about to dump water into a bottle, it takes time for me to dump that water because it flows at a constant rate. It doesn't flow any faster. Any faster is just going to spill out.
Yeah, but you could jet it in, right?
Batteries the same way.
It's like
you can jet it in, but you're forcing that power in there, right?
Yeah.
So when you're forcing that power into a battery, you're generating much of forces that the batteries try to resist it. And while you're putting the power in there, the higher voltage you put in there, it heats up.
Yeah,
and we all know how dangerous it is when you crash an electric car.
Oh no! When you crash an electric car, it's never gonna go off. It's always gonna be a fires for like hours.
Right.
I already
and the same thing with battery. If you force charging those batteries, it's gotta explode.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we force charge our phone, right?
You don't force charge your phone. No. You did not force charge your phone.
Before we couldn't charge it it took like over an hour to fully charge your phone. Now you get like a 50 watt, 75 watt and just go nuts, right? You could charge it in like 20
talking
minutes.
about 75 watts on a car battery?
Well, no.
Story.
It's a different scaling. You know what I mean? It's different scaling from the phone, of course. But I'm just saying, if you could...
Now, let's put this in perspective. Do you know the difference between amp, watts, and voltage?
No, I'm not really into that.
Okay. So when you're talking about a different set of things, you can ramp up the watts, but there is a certain level of ampage that you have to keep it under.
Yeah, but they still could scale that to the battery of the car.
No, but you're talking about a difference between taking X amount of power out of your phone versus X amount of power to power an entire car.
So yeah, that's like different scaling. The battery scaling is different.
Right. And they still generate heat. It still generate resistance. Inside, if you ever take apart a Tesla battery, just rip that apart. Inside is tiny batteries all linked together.
Yeah, I know that. I saw. Yeah.
Right. So they are actually just batteries. So they're not any more powerful than what it is.
It's powerful.
And let's
enough
say
to
we
move
found
a
different
car.
material. Let's say in the end we found a different material. How much do you think a car is gonna cost?
It's gonna cost some money. It's gonna cost money. Yeah, I know.
And who's gonna be able to afford that?
So
like how do people afford car instead of horse, right?
Put this in perspective. We have people right now currently that can't even afford a regular car. How do you get those type of people, or even us, regular people, to be able to purchase multiple cars, electric cars, and sustain a living and get to where you need to go?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, to me, like before there was horse in a car, and the rich people drove the car, right? Then it slowly start transferring over to totally car only, except for the Amish. They still stay with the horses.
Fun fact: some Amish recently got caught using iPhones when they did the nationwide alert system. So when that nationwide alert system went off, every phone went off, and those Amish people had the phone on them and went off.
Oh damn!
So they still use electricity. But okay, so this is why we have Hashimoto here, right? Because Hashimoto will be able to tell you that the current situation with the industry right now, right? So every company's try to change to have some of their stuff to be electric. They are delivery truck try to go electric cars, regular cars try to go electric cars, or even equipment they try to go for electric, right? What is the situation right now? Are they regretting that decision, or they like that's the best investment ever?
For companies, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, it's really hard to grasp right now. We're currently with our fleets trying to figure out how we're going to make this work. Currently, like I said, Peterbilt, Freightliner, all these guys are trying different things with batteries and stuff, and some of them are trying nitrogen instead of natural gas and all these different things. Trying to figure out a different avenue besides electricity, because they know that electricity isn't going to be sustainable, and if you want another alternative than electricity, then there is another alternative, but it has its limits as well. With our fleets, so our trucks haul anywhere from 180,000 pounds. Most of the time, our trucks from Idaho into Utah, we pull doubles, 2 trailers, fully loaded. We're talking a 53-foot trailer with a 42-foot trailer. They're called supersets. That's a lot of weight you're pulling, and we have mountains that we go through here. So when you have a regular truck that they say that they can get 300 hours out of 300 miles. Sorry. Now you take that to half of that, if not less, because of the weight that you're trying to pull. So then they say, well, yeah, we got the fix for that. You can pile another battery on top of that to give it that extra oomph and to get you to where you need to go. Well, now you've just taken and added weight to the truck, because everything has to go through a scale, all these scales through Idaho and Utah, which is when you see them on the freeways, the scales that all the trucks go in and out of. Well, they're weighing every axle. Station. Yeah, they weigh every axle. And if you're overloaded or overweight, they'll tag you. They'll shut you down right there. So now that you've added that battery,
you think they would change that, though? They would change the weight?
No. That's the thing is they won't change the weight, because you can only have so much weight on the roads and the bridges and stuff. They're only able to withstand so much weight. So without destroying the weight or the roads and the bridges. So now you add that extra battery to the truck, which makes the truck weigh more. That means you can't haul as much product. So now we're not able to pull the supersets that we are currently using in certain states. Now, maybe in Texas, where there's not a lot of mountains, no mountains, I should say, a lot of flat ground, that might work, because we're only by law only able to pull 1 trailer in that state. Now we're looking at, even with the trucks that can pull 1 trailer in Texas, California, and all of our other states, that they still won't make the 300 miles, because it's not possible to turn. We take our routes, send a truck out, drop a trailer at a store, turn around with it and hook up to an empty trailer at that same store, and then come back to the warehouse, all in one shift. Sometimes it's multiple times, depending on the distance, for that one guy, for that one driver. So he's not able to do that now. So basically, you're going to have another truck sitting there ready, that's fully charged, and you're going to have chargers at each store, on top of all this other infrastructure that we're going to have at our yard to charge trucks, so they'll be ready to rock and roll as well. So you're going to have to double the size of your fleet to do what we're currently doing. And you tell me how that's going to be more efficient on the roads and bridges and tires. And I mean, we're creating more waste, more damage to our roads, bridges, equipment, manpower.
Yeah, but you think that would ever even out? it might be more damage in the beginning, but it might just cancel itself out in the future, right? When everything's all done.
We're talking years and years, if not centuries, of catching up to that. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, you'd see how long. I mean, it took so long to get from, horse and buggy to an automobile. And,
Exactly.
we had railroads and stuff that we had to build and stuff. I mean, it's so much. So, I mean, it's going to cost millions and billions and trillions of dollars to even come close to even getting one state up to par, let alone the whole country. It's a nightmare. So, like I was saying, the manufacturers are putting out electric trucks and trying to figure out different things because they're forced to by the states or the government.
By the government.
So, and they've told us that. They said, hey, we're only putting this out because we have to, and because in certain states. Well, in California, we have to do emissions on our trucks now. This just went into effect last year, but we have all of our trucks were new, so that we didn't have to do the emissions last year. We have to do them this year, and that's what I was currently doing. And that's why I've kind of been a little absent from the lives and stuff, is because of that. Is I had to go to each site, train our guys, get all of our laptops dialed in with the state of California. So when we send those ECM reports to them off the truck, and they send us an email back saying it passed or failed the emissions. So if it doesn't pass, we can't let that truck leave that shop. It's down until we get it to pass, whether it's a sensor or whatever. So it's getting really strict right now. So right now we currently have to do the emissions on these trucks twice a year. And you're talking like, you got 130 trucks in one fleet in one site. So say Boise, we got 130 trucks plus. We have to do those trucks twice a year. Next year, we have to do them 4 times a year.
But they're keeping the road safe, right?
How's that keeping it safe?
And all that we still haven't addressed. We still have not addressed how long would it take to charge one of those trucks.
Right. So to get to that, we've had a lot of meetings with a lot of these companies and these electrical companies. These people say, hey, we got these superchargers and this and that. Well, they can sell you the charger, and then we might have them sitting there for 3 or 4 years not doing anything, because by the time somebody can get out to actually install them and have the power run to them is a whole different story. We ran into, not us personally, but we have one of our customers that was trying to put his fleet all electric, and they put the chargers in and they were trying to run the power. Well, going through all of the government and the city ordinances, well, guess what happened is a cemetery just happened to be pretty close by. Well, in order to get that power there, they had to go through the cemetery, and the city said, no way. How are you going to go through the cemetery? It hit all these people underneath, So long story short, they weren't able to get it to happen. So now this guy's got all these chargers sitting there with all these trucks that he's pre-ordered for electricity, and now he can't use them. So there's all kinds of things going on.
The biggest problem is really the infrastructure, right? Because like right now, the gasoline stations, they have their own tanks, right? So you go there and you fill the tank so that everybody can go there and refill their gasolines. But if you change electric, everybody have to be wired in. Everyone. All the places had to be wired.
Everybody.
And not to mention, the wiring will be different because average house runs 120 volt, 100 to 120 volt, right? You can have 2, and then get the 200 volts, 220s to run your household electricity. But when you're running those chargers, that's not what you're running. And you can only have so many, because if you have one side that has too much, like for example, you wanted that the ultra, whatever, that's not haven't been invented yet, to charge those trucks in like 10 minutes. Right, let's say that's 10 minutes. That's still 10 minutes sitting there, okay? But let's say they charge in 10 minutes. You need extra amount of power that equivalent to the full battery's power in 10 minutes. That's gonna shut down the whole grid.
And I'm talking a lot about trucks right now, because that's my current situation with our fleets. It's the same thing with the automotive thing. But our trucks, we have not just one driver in that truck. It comes back to the yard and they want to get into. Right now, they jump into that. Another driver will jump in that truck and do his inspection, and then take off and load with another set of loaded trailers. So you can't do that with an electric truck. You have to let it charge. So
Yeah, to me, I think it's gonna slow the world down a whole lot, though. I tell you that right now. Slow the whole country down. Just everyone's gotta take more time.
I agree. But are you willing to wait for everything? Because right now you're not. You want your shit right now. Everybody wants their stuff right now because that's how we've been groomed to be. Is we expect the grocery stores to have stock. We expect, Best Buy to have their product. It's not going to be like that no more. It's going to be like 2020 all over again, but worse.
Oh yeah, I understand that part, but I don't know. It forces people to slow down. It forces the country to slow down. So we see.
And I think here's the thing, right? There's the thing. Like, we're talking about industrial right now, right? We haven't even talked about household cars, right? Because you can right now to kind of sway from that to that a little bit. You see a lot of cars start to not do full electric. They start to do, okay, I want electric turbo, electric gear in there, so it's still gasoline car because they realize that people can't wait for that long. Like, if you have a charging station that has 5 cars, enough for 5 cars, that means any other car that needs charge, you wait there until those 5 car leaves. There's no way. There's no way to have that big a parking lot, and not everywhere is like Texas.
Right, and like you said, the manufacturers are going hybrid. They're doing half gas, half electric. So because it's more efficient and it works better, right? So, like you said, I mean, how do you call your employer and tell them, "Hey, I'm going to be late because I got to sit here and wait for 5 cars to charge before I get mine there because I can't make it to work because I forgot to charge my car." I mean, how many people forget to put gas in their car?
I'm just saying, that's be your responsibility, right? To not forget.
Well, what about national disasters?
But when there's only so many chargers out there, how are you going to do it?
It's still your responsibility to get it done.
Wait until 2 a.m. to get it done?
Well, get your house, something, anything, right? It's your responsibility to get a job done.
And then not only that, but say, California already has a problem with power. And they're the ones enforcing all this. They have rolling blackouts. They have all these things where currently, today, as we speak, they tell all their residents, don't run your AC during peak hours. Don't charge your phones. Don't charge your cars during peak hours because we don't have the infrastructure right now. We don't have enough power. So what are you going to do in that instance when you can't charge anything? You can't charge your phone because you're trying to charge your car.
Well, yeah, because we're in the infant state of it. Like, we're not in a freaking developed sperm.
Let's talk about this. How long have we had electric car already?
How long? Well, it just started booming the last 4 years.
Okay, that's 4 years, and they are building chargers everywhere as we speak. There's still not enough. You're not gonna find any state that just say, you know what, we're gonna buy all these land today and build like power grids.
Yeah, but things like
you're not gonna find anybody doing that.
How long it took to get all the gas station in, and how long it took to build the roads, the infrastate of the road, the interstate, and everything. It took years. It took
gas
centuries.
Gas station was fast. Gas station boomed fast.
Yeah, but
oil boom was fast.
It still take a while to do all that.
But here's the thing.
Right.
The world is not stopping with growth. We continue to grow faster and faster and bigger as we talk.
Yeah.
They can't keep up with that. They can't even come close to keeping up with that today. So we're not talking about like, okay, let's stop time and then let's build all this shit. It doesn't happen that way. It has to, we just keep letting migrants in, everybody in that wants more stuff, creating more waste, taking more power, more money from our country. How are we going to continue to do all that and build at the same time to build that infrastructure?
It's not going to happen overnight.
It's not going to happen in centuries. You think that you think that in the next 30 years they're going to build 5, 6, 7 nuclear power plant anywhere? Not happening. You know how hard it is to build a nuclear power plant? Or we're not even talking about actually put bricks and mortar together. We're talking about getting approved and the neighbor says, okay, you can build one here.
Oh, they gotta find a good place, man, because that's dangerous.
So you want them to build it right next to your house because they need you need to charge your Tesla, not they have to build it right next to your house.
Well, no, they'll have to build right next to my house. Just build.
Well, you need the
else.
power somewhere. It has to be near you.
It doesn't have to be near, because I haven't seen a nuclear plant anywhere near me, and I see a power.
Right.
That's because Texas doesn't have a nuclear power plant.
Even when I was in Georgia, right?
Georgia
doesn't have one either.
So we still have power there, right?
Yeah, but that's not enough. That's not enough. Like when you gotta supply that much power, wind power, firepower is not enough. That's what we try to say. It's not enough. So the only way to do it is to do something that generates power instantly, which is nuclear. And to do that, you need all the site to build it, and you need somewhere to store all those nuclear waste. We don't have that.
We're building as we go anyway.
And I can tell you that's not enough. Japan has 4 nuclear plants, and that's still not enough to power up the entire Japan.
So Eric,
and Japan's
let
tiny.
me ask you a question. Do you have a gas stove or an electric stove in your house?
I got electric stove.
Okay. Well, I have a gas stove in my house. Tony, what do you have?
I have gas. I hate electric stove. I hate it.
Me too. I hate it too. Gas is the only way to run. Now the government's stepping in, telling you can't have gas stoves in New York and stuff like that. You can only have gas or electric. What do you feel about that?
It's kind of dangerous with gas, right? It could explode.
So can the power one. The top will shatter.
But the thing is, like, there should be a safety mechanism that would just block it, right? When something go wrong, poof.
There is. Natural gas doesn't explode as easy as you think.
So do you like the government telling you what you can and can't do with your household items?
Oh, no, hell no.
That's what they're doing with the cars right now. They're forcing you to buy electric. It's going to happen. Or they're trying to make it happen.
That's why I freaking drive a non-electric car for now. Until I get forced on, right? That'd be different. If you
believe in the electric so much, why aren't you with an electric car right now?
Because I don't like to sit 45 minutes to charge.
You think 45 minutes is bad now? You wait till everybody has to be forced to buy these cars.
Tell the truth, if they cut it down to 20 minutes, I will buy my Tesla tomorrow.
Even if it's 20 minutes, you got to wait for someone else is done with their 20 minutes before you can charge your 20 minutes. And we're not even talking about power outages.
Yeah, but okay, about the power outage, right? I understand that part. But we had when I live in North Carolina, I was driving back to New York. We have a gas shortage, and I couldn't pump gas anywhere. And the Tesla just flew by me laughing at me, bro. They're like, fuck you, you can't even get gas because you got no gas to get.
Okay, he flew by you for 20 miles, and then he had to charge.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I didn't even have. I have an empty tank of gas, and I was going nuts trying to put gas. There's no gas station that had gas.
But that's the problem. When you had the gas shortage, it was a national gas shortage. It was not just one place. So when you have power issue, it's national power issue. Nobody have that. Nobody will have enough power. Everybody will be like, do not charge your car because we don't have enough. It's either you can keep your lights on or your car.
And the gas shortage was because of a different situation. It was only because, like, we could pump our own oil, and create our own fuel, but the president didn't want to. So that's a whole different subject. That's the only reason why that happened.
I know, that's where I got my situation on with gas, right, with electric, because at that moment I was running on E, and I'm driving to New York. You know,
But the moment you find some gas, you're good to go.
Oh yeah, but when
they also have to.
I didn't even know when I was
look at his map. This guy's zooming by you because he's running out of power too. He's gonna find the next power station to charge.
Yeah, but at least he could fucking charge, right? Me,
if he find one, because he's gonna run to the same situation. I got 5 minutes left, and I'm looking for off the map on the GPS. There's only so many power grids.
Yeah, but Tesla do have a good system of charging. They do. They have a lot of infrastructure around.
Plus, when you get a tank full of gas, you are able to go a lot longer distance than he is. So now, when you take a road trip, and you plan on, like, you went from Georgia to Texas, could you imagine how many times you would have had to stop and plan your trips around charging?
It would take me about 6 days to get to Texas.
Exactly the problem. Right? Exactly the problem.
Yeah.
So
no,
this is why
that-
electric is not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it. You have to wait. There's a constant rate of how things charge. Even if you put in a higher voltage, higher amperage to jack up that power, you're still charging the battery way bigger than your phone.
Oh yeah, I do agree it would slow things down a whole lot. I just slow everything down so much that is.
Just imagine right now when you go to a really busy gas station, and just imagine that instead of the car going there, pump their gas within 5 minutes and leave, you're now waiting for those car the next hour and leave.
Like I say, they need to build more, right?
They can build more, but doesn't matter. You still need that time. That time is never coming back.
And you can build more. You can build as much as you want, but if you don't have the infrastructure to back all that up, you ain't getting nothing.
Yeah, I know, but they're gonna build infrastructure just to. Like I said, we are building as we go. So.
Yeah, but we don't have enough. You don't understand. It's like having a food bank that only have X amount of food, but you have like 59 lanes. Even if you increase it 100 lanes, you still only have X amount of food. It's not gonna increase.
Yeah, but you think those fossil fuel ever gonna come back? Once we use them, it's gone, right?
Well, you can create fuel.
We have so much fossil fuel.
Yeah. Where do you think those electricity came from?
I know where they come from. It's from fossil fuel. But the thing is,
So we generate it anyway.
Yeah,
if
but
we
the thing is,
generate it anyway, what does it matter?
we could, lower down the use instead of for cars
No,
for
you're
like
actually using more.
for billions
actually
of
using
cars. Just imagine billions
Okay.
of cars got no gas, right? So that's take way less.
No. Let's like talk about this, okay? When you're using the energy from convert one energy to another, you're wasting some part of energy. It's not 100%, right? So when we use it to generate electricity, we lost a little bit of that energy that could have go straight to your car to electricity. And that electricity had to go through the grid. So it's using power to go through the grid, powering that, charger and everything to charge your car. While they're charging your car, it has to charge that station that's charging you money the whole time too. You're using more power, wasting more power than just get that gasoline directly to your car.
No, because you used gasoline to deliver gasoline as well.
And
Just
the waste
imagine, take all that out.
the waste that you create every time that you have to change that battery out. Where do you think that goes?
Well, they only can
What do you think
recycle about. Well, right now there's a company that can recycle 80% of it.
No. Wrong.
Yes, I just read the news. I read the news on Google.
They recycle 80% of it, but only 3% of that battery can be recycled. So it's actually 80% of all battery and only 3% of that is recycled. Everything else has to be disposed.
Well, they say we recycle 80% of it, so it's fine. They could.
No, it's not. It's 3%. 80% of all battery, but 3% of that battery is recycled.
Well, we could use that somewhere else, right?
No, the rest is landfill.
Toxic landfill. Can't be reused.
And imagine how big those batteries are for your car. Those car batteries are very big.
It's
and
huge.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay, so imagine the entire America go through one generation of car, 5 years. Let's say it's 5 years. 5 years. How many cars in the USA?
Billions.
You can build a house with that battery. You can build a 100-floor tower with the battery stacked up.
Billions of cars, man. U.S. go through
Right.
cars like crazy.
So where are those gotta go? And okay, to make battery, it doesn't take materials.
It does. It take cobalt and everything else that you mine.
So yeah,
yes.
we're still digging. We're still finding those raw material to make battery. You
And that's
still
a very-
you still try to get lithium.
If you could even lessen it by 1%, still good.
No, but then if you just use gasoline, you're not using any of those materials to make a container for it.
You use material to dig up the fossil, right? To get the gasoline. You telling
Okay,
me
yeah.
those oil grids
Yes.
don't take anything to operate?
Yeah. So now I forgot what I was going to say because I seen the thumbs up. But I went
When you
blank.
drill oil, you're putting a pipe down there and it comes up. It's not like digging ore. You had to
it's
blow
not
things
that,
up.
You think it's that simple that it doesn't use any material to do it?
Obviously, it takes machine which uses more whatever to dig it up, but it's not the same thing as you think when you're digging for raw material. You're blowing up mountains and shit just to get it up. You get this material, you digging in there, you're blowing things up.
So the main source for a battery on these electric cars is cobalt.
It's cobalt.
Cobalt
yeah.
is actually being dug up by a bunch of people being treated like slaves, beaten, and I'm dead serious. Look it up.
I know.
And there's a very limited supply of it. Guess who's buying up all the property for all that right now? And who owns most of the property of that? China. So who are we going to have to buy that from? China. We're going to keep buying all this stuff from China. I mean, they're buying up property in America to just keep working their way in, so we keep them in business. And we, if that's
not energy dependent.
No.
Like gasoline, we can dig our own. We got a Gulf Coast. We can drill. We just refuse to do it.
I know.
That's energy dependent. But if you had to buy material just to build a container, we're not even talking about putting hot power in there. We're making a container.
I'm just saying, right?
This is not sustainable, and it's definitely not independent in energy of any sort.
No.
Because you constantly have to replace them, right? Yeah, I mean, you do have to replace your gasoline tank, but we have aluminum. We can do it.
But
right?
Tell me the last time you ever replaced your gas tank, because most of them now are plastic. So tell me the last time you replaced a gas tank in your car.
I haven't. Never did.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and those batteries ain't cheap.
I replaced my fuel pump though.
That's a fuel pump. That's a whole lot different than a tank.
And fuel pump is recycled, just so you know.
Yeah, I know.
Fuel pump core are recycled.
I know. I'm just saying.
Right? So electric car is not any efficient. It's not any better. It's just that it's the idea of using a different energy sounds cleaner, but anything behind it, every process behind it is dirtier. Every process. From creating the container, make the infrastructure for it, make the car, and make and then you have to have the energy for it. It's actually less efficient. It just sounds high tech. It sounds like the future. Instant power, for sure. Yeah, instant power. But to get to that instant power, you have to get through 3 hours of charging.
And that's how they're selling it to you guys, specifically Eric. They're selling that to you because you want to be the leader in the technology and the best thing out there. Just like with the new iPhones, every time a new iPhone comes out, everybody's standing in line for hours just to get that new iPhone, because they say it's going to do this, that, and this and that, right? I mean, you get these electric cars. I mean, you like your AC, right, Eric?
I love my AC.
You like your radio playing too, right?
I don't listen to radio.
Okay.
iPhones, whatever.
So, yeah, you got to plug your iPhone in to charge it while you're driving down the road. Well, that just sucks out more power from that battery. Everything that you use on that car.
Everything, that would suck out battery, yeah.
So, in your hot state of Texas that you're in, or Georgia that you were previously in, Las Vegas, Phoenix, all them guys have to run that AC because it's so hot, right? Well, it just sucks the battery life out fast.
Yeah, I mean, know.
You got all these Uber drivers that thought the best thing out there was these electric cars because it's not going to cost them anything in fuel. Well, they, have come to learn that, you've got to have that radio playing because that's part of their rules, right? Have a nice radio music playing and the AC on, make it a comfortable space for the passenger. Well, just this summer I was down in Las Vegas and I asked a guy that was driving us in a Tesla, and he said, "This is the worst fucking decision I ever made. I can only do, I don't know how many trips," he said, and then I got to go home and charge it because I have to run my AC, and then at night I got to run my lights and all this shit. It just sucks every power, all the extra power you thought you had, right out of that battery. And he goes, "I'm going back to driving my gas car as soon as the transmission gets fixed," and he was just waiting on that to come out of the shop so he could switch back over. It was cheaper to run that gasoline car.
And you'll be making more money because you don't have to run 5 rounds and go charge for 3 hours and run 5 more rounds.
Exactly. So, and the other question I have for you, Eric, is, the windmills that we have, the turbine farms that we have, where did that ever go?
I think that's useless.
That's exactly where the electric car is going.
I think the windmill idea was useless. I don't know what the hell happened there. I never agreed.
It generates power where it's not generating power.
I never agreed to the windmill bullshit. I never did. I think that's bullcrap.
It looks super cool.
It doesn't look that cool.
So the other part of the windmill thing, so that kind of died off, right? It was a hot item at first. Oh yeah, they sold everybody on it, and it ended up fading out. The other part of
Nah,
those windmills is those little turbine, those wings or turbine arms.
Propeller.
They only last, I think it was like 9 years, 5 years, something like that. They have to take them off, replace them. They cannot dispose of those, and that doesn't have a battery in it. That's just the windmill, the turbine. I mean, what's going to happen after all these years of dumping these toxic ass batteries in somewhere? What do you think is going to happen? They got to figure something out.
Oh, yeah, they have to. They really have to.
But they're not concentrating on it. They're not worried about that right now. They're worried about you getting into that electric car right now.
Like I say, I don't have an electric car, but I believe I would like them once they're done.
Don't you think companies would try to figure out what to do with the waste and the charging infrastructure before they start pumping out millions of these cars?
I think they already have something in work, but
you think, but you don't know.
I don't know
because
I think they have some. They have something in works. I hope they do at least.
They don't. There's no place to put them right now. For a while, China was buying all those wastes, and they stopped. They stopped doing that.
Why did China buy all those waste for?
They were the one that's buying all the waste and pack it somewhere in China because there's plenty of land, and now they are all filled up. They don't need it.
Why did they do that? What the heck?
Because it's money.
They totally said nope, no more. Especially after the government was talking about, no more supporting China. They said, fuck that.
Yeah. I think it was like the maybe 5th year when Trump was president. China says we'll not take any more trash from USA.
Okay.
So, so now you had to put it in USA.
No, we got to dump in Mexico.
So now here's the thing. So we're dumping all the waste in Mexico when we could have just draw oil in Mexico.
Yeah, why do you think Mexico and US is working together right now? They're planning to be neighbors.
Yeah, but then it doesn't matter. It's still got to be somewhere. There's only so much space, right? We dig it out under the earth, but on the surface of Earth, there's only so much space. You cannot fill it back in there.
Yeah.
Right?
What?
And here's the thing, okay?
That's actually a good idea. Just fill it back up.
You can't. There's no way. But keep in mind, all right? Tesla is not the first electric car out there.
No, Tesla was not. Yeah, I know that.
I think 30, 40 years before them, there's already electric cars exist, and nobody wanted that shit.
Yeah, because they wasn't ready. They go for 30 miles?
It's still not ready.
It's still not ready. That, right?
It's still not ready. China has average of 100 car fires a day right now with their electric cars.
Well, because they're made in China.
Guess who makes those batteries?
Tesla.
China. Guess who makes Tesla's battery? China. Yeah. So it's the same thing. It's the same factory.
I'm just saying because it's made in China. No quality check, nothing.
Okay, where do you think it's gonna? Which country is gonna go? No problem. We'll let you pollute our country by producing those batteries for you. Kill our people.
Mexico.
It doesn't matter. You can't because all those raw materials is not in Mexico. Now it gotta cost even more. Use more energy to deliver all the material.
Yeah.
Right.
They can transfer from everything to Mexico. So
right now you're using even more crude oil and energy to deliver that to Mexico.
But once we get there and land it, everything be nice and smooth.
No, because you got to do it forever.
So don't you want to keep your dollars here in America?
Huh?
Don't you want to keep your dollars here in America instead of sending it over to Mexico?
Well, the world have a system of financially and working with each other, right?
But that's why China got rich, because we keep paying China everything.
Yeah, but China's still doing shit to us, though.
Right. So buying.
China's doing everything to resist you.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? Resist and what? Then what?
All the U.S. debt are somewhere in China. China has control in the finance system.
Did you know all those debt? The U.S. only owed 30% of the debt total. Most of the debt they owed to themselves. Say
that again.
Yes.
U.S. owes where?
They owe for themselves for all these things that the project they do. They fucking finance themselves. And the thing is, they only owe the world 3% of whatever that budget is.
I don't think you got your facts straight there.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure.
China buys those debts. China bought those debts. So, okay, U.S. borrowed the money from banks and whatever, and they issue bonds, okay? And China went to buy those. So we actually owe China. All right. If we only owe 3% of the debt that we're owing, we don't have that. We actually have a ticker That shows how much interest that we are paying. And it just goes up and up and up. We couldn't afford it. We had to keep raising our debt ceiling because we could not afford it. This is not 3%.
To me, they don't owe that much. They don't owe anybody that much. They do owe, but to me, it's only 3%.
Okay, if you think it's 3%, then we should have been able to pay that off, right?
We don't want to pay it off because we're
We
America.
wanted to pay off.
We don't want to pay shit off. America don't never want to pay anything off.
No. The reason why your money's worth shit, inflation, is because debt.
So you telling me other country don't have a major debt to anybody else either?
All right, look at every country that's facing deflation. They don't have any debt.
What country that don't have debt?
For example, Japan has a very little amount of debt.
They still have debt.
No, let me finish. They purposely go borrow money and they have negative interest rate. Have you heard negative interest rate before? Where you put money in the bank and they charge you money and not give you any interest.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they still have debt though, right?
Because they are facing deflation. The money's too strong. They want to make it weaker. So they want to borrow money.
No country in the world want to make the money weaker.
Oh my God. China is one. Japan is another one.
China is always going to be weak.
No, China purposely control their money to be a certain amount for a reason. That's why we keep complaining about them manipulating their money. They want their money to be as weak as possible.
How your money is weak and you try to take over?
Because if they're weak, you will go do your business with them. If they're too expensive, there's no reason to do business with them.
So yeah, but then the goal is to take over the economy, right? They're not going to do that with weak ass money.
No. They want those weak money because their labors are cheap anyway. So they want those weak money so that you do business. They have the upper hand. We're cheaper than anybody else. You should build your factory here. So now you're investing in our country, not anywhere else because we're cheaper.
But you know who else is cheaper than them now? Mexico.
It's not.
And plus, it's a shorter distance too when we have to travel.
Yeah, but it's not cheaper. You don't understand. When you build that kind of stuff,
peso worth more than the yuan.
So they're building cheap products as well.
So does China, right?
That's what I'm saying. So they're charging you a premium and they're giving you shit product. We go through this all the time with the new trucks that are built in Mexico. Freightliner. They build all their shit in Mexico. Now, when
they build a lot of shit in Mexico.
Right. When they first moved their factory to Mexico and we started getting trucks from them, we started seeing all kinds of wiring issues because they're using cheap insulator around the wire. It's rubbing through. I mean, you want to talk about nightmares on trucks that have 1,000 miles on them. 1,000 miles. And you're already having all this electrical issue.
Yeah, I understand
that's a nightmare. So don't think you're getting a great product. You're not.
No, I didn't think I would get a great product, but it's going to be like how we first started off with China. It's like shit quality anyway. It's over time to get better, right?
They're not looking to make their product better. They're not looking to make anything better. They just want to keep pumping out and you bringing the business to them. They want to keep their people in business, not you.
Well, China stuff now is better than China stuff 20 years ago.
Well, of course.
It's not because of China, though, but that's because technology has increased, right? The people who owns the factory increase their production and increase their technology, not China, right?
Well, yeah, so it's going to be the same thing in Mexico.
Well, you know how many people, how often you see Mexico people have enough money to send people out to USA, learn the knowledge, come back and do better. China does that.
I know China does that. I know.
So you know
how they were able to do that?
Old money.
Because China has so much money because we keep dumping money on them, they send people out to copy our shit.
No, yeah, I know that for sure.
Yeah, and that's a result of actually getting another country rich and keep pumping out dollar bill and give to someone else.
Yeah, but even then, they still peace between the United States.
They're not. Oh my God! Like you have this false image of what United States finance are like. United States finance is shit. We had to raise the debt ceiling every year for that reason.
We still not bankrupt.
We almost bankrupt a few times. We actually did one time, defaulted.
Yeah, one time. You said China never did?
China did not default at all.
Oh, it's okay, cool. I didn't know that. Well, I'm just saying.
US defaulted. We went from A++ to A+.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, even when we defaulted, we still one of the best economy.
We're not the best economy. Have you been to Europe? Have you been to Switzerland?
No, I never traveled the United States like that.
Well, Luxembourg.
But you telling me those economy is better than ours? That's what you're saying.
Oh yeah, they have no debt.
That's not how America work. America need that.
America runs on debt because we got so comfortable at it. We have no choice. That's not independent. Any country can go like, okay, this is what China's been doing. Okay, they've been going to invest in another country, and then they call it that one role, one thing. They build their infrastructure and stuff like that, and give them debt, and then they take over the ports because they couldn't pay the debt. U.S. the moment that we stop paying China, we're like, we can't afford it. They were like, oh, we want this port, we want that port, we want the rights to this and that. We have to give it to them because we owe them.
We don't give them anything. They want to fight it out, we duke it out.
No, because they will go to UN, and the UN will just take it from you.
The UN?
Yeah.
Or do they belong to the NATO?
NATO's on the other side.
Who the hell is the UN?
United Nations?
I don't know who the hell that is.
Oh, see, that's a problem. Now we're talking about totally different story of knowledge.
Yeah,
okay,
we kind of went sideways.
Yeah, so we have all these countries that's part of UN. We decide how to resolve disputes through UN resolutions.
Okay.
So, yeah, and then we agree that once they voted, we kind of obey to that resolution or take that resolution. So a lot of time it's not as simple as you say. It's like, oh, if we don't pay them, we just go to war and whatever. Because now you're just going against the rest of the world. You got to start a war over some debt.
And we will win.
Basically,
no, because you have no money.
We're feeding them to help keep our country running, but it's not sustainable. If that makes sense.
It's been working for how long?
But we had limits that we gave them. We would only do so much business, so much whatever with China and all these different countries. Now it's just doors are wide open. Go ahead, let's just ship everything over to China.
Yeah.
That's just not how we work. I mean, China buys up a lot of property.
The rich people in China are filthy rich.
I know. I know they're trillions of dollars rich. I know.
Right. Okay, here's the thing. That could happen American.
Well, we only got one.
Those factories are building in America, that could happen American. But we just have to ship that money out. So if you ship everything to Mexico, you ship it to Mexico, in 10 years, Mexican people is going to walk in. They don't even have to sneak in. They walk in with millions of dollars in their pocket, and they're like, you peasant.
Well,
because we give them all the money.
We need something for cheap, right? We want quick things, and we want cheap labor, and we are not willing to do it in America.
I will agree with you on that one. Americans don't want to work for cheap.
No, we don't want to work for cheap at all.
Right. But that's on us. We created that.
Yes. Like if you telling me to go work and give me fucking 50 cents a day, I would murder you.
So what do you think about that the auto workers going on strike because of the electric cars?
What do I think? Well, it's either they're going to give them a raise, work more, or whatever. They have to work it out, right?
But you're taking jobs. That's what they're saying. They're taking jobs away from these guys and their livelihoods because we're creating all these electric cars now with robots.
What? Oh, no, that's going to be... Well, the robot is more precise.
In certain things.
Right? Yeah, they are programmed to do precise things. And yes, they might have fuck up here and there, but I'm just saying.
So you would rather give your job up currently for, say, a robot or AI to do your job?
Well, if AI could do my fucking job, go ahead.
Oh, eventually it might.
Stick the finger in there, print it out.
Yeah.
Just print it out. Okay.
If they can make cars and all the stuff that you're talking about, why can't they make nails? Do nails and do everything else. That's
yeah.
Well, even though they're still making car, but you still need human hand to operate, right? There's some part that AI or robot can't do.
Right, but with the electric car side of it, they're putting all these people out of business or out of jobs.
Why?
Okay, so let's sway from this a little bit, like the last few minutes. Aside from just the electric car aspect, right? We didn't even talk about, you do know by the time you buy a car, a Tesla, you're really buying nothing but the battery and the motor. Everything else is shit, right?
Yeah, everything is shit on it. I know, everything is misaligned, all that, because the robot, right? But I'm just saying, it's like,
I know a guy, I spoke to a guy that came and bought a gasoline car from me, okay, that works at Tesla in Northern California. Flew out here to buy a gasoline car, used jet fuel to come here to buy a gas car. He works at Tesla. He won't own a Tesla. He said never buy a piece of shit Tesla. Never. So there's all kinds of problems.
I'm not saying Tesla is perfect, right? But they're getting better and better every year. That's what they're trying to be.
Tell me one electric car that's really well built.
Really well built Cadillac.
That's what?
Yes, a Cadillac have a electric car, and Mercedes does have an electric car that's really well built.
So you're just going off of the manufacturer, saying that it's because it's Cadillac that it's well built.
Well,
Doesn't mean that it doesn't have issues. You
No,
know
it's gonna
just
have
as well
issues.
as I do. Yeah, you know just as well as I do. You buy a first gen any car that just came out, it's going to have all kinds of fucking problems. So
That's including
all this-
gasoline, though.
oh yeah, but
Right?
you think these electric cars are going to have problems?
No, Eric, you didn't answer my question.
Okay.
You tell me you tell me a car that's retrofitted with electric engine. That's not electric car. I'm talking about electric car.
Okay, the EQS is fully electric. EQS.
You know why that's discontinued?
I didn't know they discontinued it.
Oh, they did. Why do you think they went hybrid? Why do you think all the sports car in AMG went hybrid?
How the hell do I know? Because they can't fucking
Because
build
those
the battery.
EQS breaks every 2 months.
I'm just saying, right? Quality.
That's not well built.
Like the outside, because you're talking about misalignment on the doors and the quality of
No,
it, right?
I'm talking about the car. Like, if you go and then choose, I'm talking about car brand that only makes electric cars, that has a well-built electric car. If you're talking about a car company, of course they got to build the car well because they already know how to build a car. They just swap a freaking electric motor in there.
They don't
Right?
know.
But I'm talking
Everything
about
is about
electric
swap
brand.
then.
No, there's electric brands, right? There are a few brands that are making electric car, like what, Lucid and stuff like that. They're all electric brands.
Okay, Lucid is not good. Tell me. That's what
Lucid
you're
is
telling me.
shit. Lucid is shit.
Lucid is better quality than Tesla.
It's still shit. I mean, okay, you get a brown shit and black shit. They're both shit.
Okay. I'm just saying, right? The Lucid is better built than the Tesla, right?
How do you know that?
Slightly.
Slightly. No, it's the better.
We have a Lucid store right here, right in the mall.
Okay.
And they
How do
suck.
you know?
No one want to
How
buy
do you
it.
know it's? How do you know it's better built?
It's better quality built. I don't know if it's long term, but like the fitment, everything on it is a better luxury built.
So
No,
you know
this is
how-
not because this is because not enough people buying it. They're not complaining about it, but they all shit.
Dude, every car is shit when they come out, so they give them time.
And you
Give
don't
them
do
time.
know that the cold weather sucks the power out of batteries, right?
Yeah, I know. I know cold weather suck out the battery, yes. Because they have to warm it up and they use the battery to warm it up. Yes, I understand.
So
It looks
how
like we
do
need
you work
another
around
part.
that?
Huh?
So how do you work around that in the colder states like Utah, Idaho, Montana,
That's
all these
that's
western
that's why
states?
we're gonna leave you guys stranded.
Right? They can't solve those problems. There's no way. And they still try to find alternative power, and no alternative power right now can fix that because physics doesn't lie.
Yeah. But Tesla break almost every physics. 1.9 second, boy.
They didn't break physics.
What other car that accelerates 0 to 60 1.9?
And there's multiple cars that can do that.
What car?
Have you not seen any of the cars in like Top Fuel?
Top Fuel. You mean the one that break down every fucking run?
Well, they can go there, yeah. I mean,
No.
you're using something. Yeah, here's the thing: you're talking about something take off 0 to 60, and cannot sustain that for a long term of time. Then you can build any car to do that.
No, Tesla could do that all day long, every day.
No.
You
You
kill
ever-
the battery instantly.
No, you kill the battery, but it could do it multiple days.
Yeah, I could get Top Fuel to do it multiple times in a day too.
Yeah, no. They
Right.
no. They
But you
will.
gotta
They
charge
have to
it.
fix it. They have to fix this shit.
You have to
No, they
charge.
just had to replace the parachute in the back because it goes so fast.
No, their motor go nuts because there's so much friction and almost so much power that they have to fix the motor almost every 3 runs.
No. That's not how it is. Okay, I hate to tell you, it's the same kind of concept. Okay, motor and engine, they all run off gears. They are the same
Yeah, I
concept.
know. But the thing is, like, the Tesla could do it for every day, right? If you tell one of those drag racing guys, you ask them, hey, Do you have to fix your motor every few runs?
Eric,
Yes.
Eric, I right now, I'm hoping that you'll go buy a Tesla and read their terms and conditions on their warranties on their motors. I hope you do. That 3-page long thing, go read it, please. You do that a couple of times, record on the thing, your warranty's gone.
I tell you that right now. I bought my sister a Tesla.
And did you read that? Did you read that term and condition? How many times you can run that one full throttle?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Keep doing it.
It does matter. It will void your warranty on the gears.
I'm just saying.
That one motor.
I'm just saying they could do it, though, right? They could do it. They could take it.
No, it's not made to take it. They can do it, but it's not made to take it. Every car manufacturer engine are created to withstand more than what it can do.
Yeah.
They set the tier to not go that fast on a specific reason. Every car can do that if they wanted to. They just jack it up and soup it up. They can.
Yeah, but how long can you sustain that, right?
You can sustain it as much as you want. They were built that way. They just don't want that because they want to have multi-tier, multi-price range so that they don't jack it up. Because right now, all right, Mercedes AMG, all the 8 cylinders are the same fucking engine.
Yeah, I know that.
And why is one faster than the other?
Tuning.
Why is E-Class faster than C-Class?
There's different tuning on it, different software, different program.
Exactly.
The thing is,
those engines were made that you can tune it all the way to the top if you wanted to. They refuse to.
But if you tune it all the way to the top, it would not last.
It will last. Your Tesla is tuned all the way to the top with one motor, one single gear.
Yeah, but it could beat it on it for days. You could beat it on for days.
Yeah, if I tune up a AMG GTR, I can beat it on for days.
You go ask somebody that tuned up a GTR and tell them to fucking beat it on for 4 days straight.
They do that all the time in the racetrack. What do you think they're doing?
Yeah.
You don't think so? You're telling me they don't fix it? They don't replace stuff?
People do that on Hellcat all day long.
Like you just said, they replace it. They replace stuff. What do you think's going to happen to an electric motor?
It. But the thing is, like, it does. I could be on my Tesla for 4 days straight and drive it home.
What do you mean?
No, you won't, because you'll be beating it on a 3 hour, and then you had to charge for 3 hours.
Yeah,
right.
But it still could beat on it for days, though, right? Like, if you beat on a 1,000 horsepower Supra, that shit gonna break in like maybe half a day, maybe.
A Supra wasn't built to do 1,000 from the factory. We're talking from the factory. Like the Hellcat was built to do that from the factory, plus some.
Yeah, but the Hellcat still loses the Tesla Model S Plaid.
Doesn't matter. You're still like. You with electric motors are going to be twice as much cost of replacing those motors.
Cost is different, right? It's cost. It's whatever. But I'm just saying.
It doesn't matter what it is if you beat on it breaks. It doesn't matter which engine, which car. If you beat on it, it breaks.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I could go 9.
If I break my AMG, I go in there, I got parts, boom, it's done. I go drive right out. If you break your Tesla, good luck within 3 months.
I'm gonna wait 3 months. Boom, I'm still back at it 3 months later.
Yeah, but you know how much distance I can drive in 3 months?
I'm just saying, right? It's still gonna be here in 3 months.
I'm
right?
telling you, you can grab a Nissan GTR and tune it to 1.9 and drive it every day.
No. You could drive every day, but you can't beat it every day.
Oh, you can beat it every day because people in Japan does it all the time.
Yeah.
Hashimoto, would you agree with me on that?
I would.
Nissan GTR.
Yeah.
Dude, have you watched any Nissan GTR race videos?
Have you been to Japan?
I'm just saying.
Go to the Rainbow Bridge at night.
Have you?
Go to the Rainbow Bridge at night. I'm telling you. Go to Japan, go to Rainbow Bridge at night.
I'm telling you, they break down. After you hit like 1,000 horsepower, 1,000 torque, they start breaking down.
And what makes you think that the motor in the Tesla is not any different?
Yeah,
but God.
It's not going to break down on me on a fucking day or a 1 run, right? Or 2 run or 3 run.
I'm telling you, those Nissan GTR is not gonna do 1 run, 2 run, 3 run. They run all night before they go home and maintenance it.
They dig. Dude, I watched so many video of GTR fucking doing digs, and after 3 fucking times, they start having problems.
Because they didn't do it.
I don't know what video you watched.
No, these are built. They are built well. They spend hundreds of $1,000s on building it.
Doesn't mean it's built right. It does not mean it's built right.
Oh, okay. Now,
and on top of that, parts are only made, to withstand so much of that torque and the power. And
yes, so you
just
already
like
know.
the Tesla. just like Tesla.
Yeah, but
It's
the
only
Tesla,
built-
I could run it for I don't know how long it's gonna break or not break. Right? It's not gonna break. I haven't seen the Tesla that drag race other GTRs and stuff break on a 1 run or 2 run.
Well, I want you to go buy that car and you prove us wrong.
Yeah, go record that you're going 1.9 15 times in a row.
15 times in a row.
Yeah, 0
That's
to
all I
60,
need.
1.9, 15 times in a row, and tell me that your computer didn't tell you that the freaking battery overheated.
So you're telling me I only need to prove you got 15 times? That's a joke.
Well, you say
right?
all
You
day.
got joking me, right?
You say all day.
But you just said
You said all
15
day.
times. But you said you
said all
told me
day, but
15 times though. That what
15
Tony
times
just
in
said.
a row.
In a row.
Yeah. I'm just to make it easier because I'm not gonna watch a 24-hour thing. I don't even think it's gonna be 24-hour. It will be like a 2-hour thing. So, oh, sorry, I gotta go charge. But
Oh no, I'm gonna charge. I'm gonna need charging.
I think it'll be
but
less
once
than
you're
2
charging,
hours.
you're letting your car sit for 3 hours.
I'm gonna go right back at it, but I want to see a GTR run like 15 times and go back at it after you put in gas.
Oh my God, GTR can go for more than 15 times for sure.
okay.
You should go to the drag strip and watch GTR go all day, all day,
All right,
all day.
because I don't watch enough of those videos. I know, I get it. I don't do enough research on those either. I know.
What
Well, just
I'm
because
not
you
based on
watch
videos.
videos doesn't make it 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
I'm
have
not
to do
basing
your
on
own
videos.
tests. And I mean, I can't go to my customers and say, "Hey, this truck did it 100 times. Why can't we?" It's just not applicable in our industry.
Okay. Yeah.
But I can tell you that
You
for
have to
sure.
do the test.
Every engine from manufacturer is made to withstand way more than what they are able to do from manufacturer.
Yeah, no, that's why there's tuning and everything that people do to make it faster. I understand that.
Right. And that's exactly it. Nobody goes out there and buy like, oh, I need this part to withstand 1.9 on a quarter mile, or 0 to 60, because nobody does that. It's stupid. Everybody
It's not stupid.
buys
It's fucking
parts.
awesome.
Everybody buys a part so that it can sustain them the entire race, not 0
But why
to
did-
60.
that's like saying a Lamborghini with 700 horsepower that could have parts from factory that could handle that, right?
And
So that's like you telling me Tesla don't make that part to handle that kind of horsepower and that kind of second.
no,
That kind of speed.
Tesla literally tell you that we're not a car company, we're a technology company. We're selling technology.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, they fucking sell cars though.
Yeah, but you
They
gotta
sell
know
all
to
kinds of
understand
stuff.
how motor works. You gotta understand how motor works.
They don't have a motor. They have
is
electric
one thing.
motor.
Yes, electric motor is a motor.
I know
You just
that,
said
but
they don't
it's
have a
different.
motor.
It's different from combustion motor, right?
Right. A motor is nothing more different than your fucking fan that's spinning with a fucking blade on the side.
Yeah, I know that. I don't have a fan,
Yeah.
but I know that.
Yeah, and that's how it is. That's exactly what's in there. So you think you can abuse the shit out of it, it'll be fine? You try to abuse your fan to do that, you'll fly through your roof.
I don't want to abuse my fan to do it because it's not made for that.
Right. So inside is a coil. All right, it's multiple coil wire.
I
And
know.
all it takes is for one wire to heat up and break. That thing's done.
But I'm telling you, Tesla could go for days.
No, you cannot. It can go for a couple of hours.
So gas tank, okay?
Gas tank, there are gas tank that can last for way longer than the Tesla.
It
Okay.
all depends how you drive, right? If you bash on it, the gas tank goes, especially
Okay,
with
okay,
1,000
let me
horsepower
tell
in
you
the
this.
GTRs, it goes straight down.
People literally test this, okay? People literally test it. You can drive a Hellcat 160 miles an hour for 30 miles.
I'll go longer than Tesla, I know.
Yeah. You try to do Tesla 160 miles, see how long you can go.
But the thing is, like, you go 160, I could get into my torque 100% of the time, just like,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'll catch up to you in like 15 minutes because you're out of power.
Yeah, in 15 minutes, see ya.
You wouldn't be CEO because everywhere in Texas is 30 minutes away. In fact, you won't even get to my house.
No, I would get with the Plaid, they go like 400.
No, you'll be
400
calling
miles.
Tony. Sorry, I ran out of power. I'm gonna go charge. I'll be there in like, about 4
can
hours.
you bring a generator, please? Thank you, with gas.
Right.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Anyways, I think we need another session to even cover the other side because that's just the lecture versus that. It took an hour.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
longer than I thought it was gonna be.
far.
So Yeah, we didn't get that far. So we will have another part. This is where we end. Big thanks to Hashi for joining us. Talking about this because it was fun. I love to talk about this.
I love it. This is amazing.
And we haven't even scratched the surface, man.
Yeah, we haven't.
The topic is way too deep. I thought it was going to be that 5-minute thing, and they go, okay, well, moving on. But
I knew when you said electric. I knew when you said electric cars, it was going to go deep and long.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it's a war. It's a war. You just started a war.
It's a big subject, and there's a lot going into it. A lot of money being spent to go into infrastructures or thinking about infrastructures. There's so much millions of dollars that these companies are putting into this stuff that it'll blow your mind right now. So
yeah. Let's do another one. And next one, I want to talk about gasoline cars. Like, let's really dig deep on the gasoline cars, and then the next one we can dig deep on the electric cars. We'll talk about builds. We talk about builds, and then we'll go from there because this it's a very good information, right? Everybody owns a gasoline car right now except Eric. He's going electric.
I have a gasoline car, asshole.
slowly. Another 3 months. Like, I got electric cars. Yeah, 45-minute drive to your house, but it'll take 3 hours because there's no power.
No, it take fucking 45 minutes. I have 400-mile range. Shut up.
That's fully charged. Fully charged.
Not with
fully
charged. Yeah, not with your AC.
Yeah, with the way that you're driving.
All I need to do is sweat off my ass. I'm good. The salt dripping off my balls.
All I need to say is, Eric, you need to get a membership to the gym because you're gonna have to do leg day, pushing your car. Okay.
No, because you can't even push it. Electric car won't move.
I have to sit for like an hour or 3 to wait for Tesla to come.
Oh my god. Eric, the trunk space for all that space in an electric car, you put a generator in there with some gasoline just in case.
I was thinking about that, but I forgot one. Yes.
Yeah.
Or a sleeping
that's all you need to do. Yeah. Oh my god. So this is where we're gonna end. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. Another time with Hashimoto. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
You've been listening to the In the Shadows podcast. There's nothing like a fine cigar, and that's our passion. And on the show, we'll talk about everything and anything cigars. And you know what happens when you get a bunch of guys together smoking cigars. The conversations go on. And that is what this show is all about. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. Remember, everything you need is on YouTube at Soy Sauce Assassin. The live show is every Wednesday and Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And get cigar reviews. Wishing you long ashes. We'll see you next time on In the Shadows podcast.